I
Yes,
wanted
sir.
to get it going with the new NBA all-time top 100 list.
Yep.
And we have some surprises on the list, but in particular, in the top 10, Mr. Kobe Bryant is not in the top 10 of the greatest players ever. So, what were your thoughts kind of when you saw this list? And do you think it's justified?
Yeah, I kind of roughly went through the list. I mean, we know that when it was the 50th year of the NBA, they had like that top 50, but they would never rank them. It was just like the top 50 players. And then we most recently had the top 75. So this is kind of like obviously like unofficial, but official, just something to like kind of create a buzz and something to talk about. And it is interesting now that it's actually like ranked. So yeah, it's for us Laker fans, for us Kobe fans. I didn't know where he was in the top 10, but I always kind of had in my mind Kobe is a top 10 all-time player. So he's right outside at 11. Obviously, when you think that, you got to start right away thinking about who maybe like shouldn't be, in the top 10. And obviously everybody's going to have their say, but I think of like a Larry Bird who we were just talking about, who I get it. If you probably watched him live, like you and I obviously really didn't, I know you would have a different perspective, and it's different eras. Like we only can kind of speak for the last 30 years or whatever, 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
But I think Kobe's got to be in the top 10 somewhere. I'm not too sure who you take out, but someone that stands out might be Larry Bird. But top two, LeBron, Kobe, I thought that was kind of obvious. Some people may have LeBron rated lower. I think majority would have Kobe. But yeah, it's an interesting list for sure. What did you think about Kobe being out of the top 10 and just kind of in general?
Yeah, I was a little surprised. In general, I feel like over the years, Kobe has kind of fallen deeper into the conversation of, used to kind of almost put him up there with the greatest to kind of ever do it. And I feel like
Yeah.
he's kind of fallen from that category. And I'm trying to get an understanding of why, because he played 20 years, he's won 5 championships, and obviously he's one of the best scorers to ever do it. So when you look at his game, like there's no doubt in my mind that's a top 10 player. But when you look at who should be in there and who shouldn't, I mean, the person that jumped over him is Steph Curry. So that was already, the way the Bleacher Report did is they jumped him ahead of Kobe, essentially. And I think putting him ahead of him right now at this point in his career, I don't think it's justified yet. He does obviously have a 3-point record. He's changed the game forever, and he has 4 championships. But that's the person that I saw that kind of like stood out to me the most.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's so many accolades. You can go any way, any direction. We know as time goes on, it's a fluid list, but according to that list, like you technically all those players that are in the top 10 can't really, you would imagine they can't fall back now, right? Because I guess a couple of them are still playing, but yeah, I mean, one could argue, obviously, Shaq. I mean, amazing player, dominant, right? And somebody may argue that Kobe Bryant's a better player than him too overall. 5 championships to 4, along with Curry with the 4. I mentioned Larry Bird before. I mean, he's obviously got all the accolades. He definitely was a great player. He wasn't even at the number 10 as you just mentioned, but yeah, I'm kind of looking through it. I mean, I've always had, being a Laker fan, I think Magic Johnson is probably like my, all-time favorite player. So him being number 4 it's kind of a bit of a surprise to me. He's amazing. He's just probably the best point guard ever. I know there's some arguments there, but him at a 4, good to see. I thought it was like I don't know, when I thought of a list, I didn't think he'd be put there. Tim Duncan, I mean, hey, you cannot argue that. Shaq, as I mentioned, obviously Jordan, LeBron. Who was number 3? Sorry, the list that I look at, it's like has me go through all of the. I mean, Will Chamberlain is at a 9 for crying out loud, right? And again, this is just opinionative, and there's no, I mean, it's what this group of writers thought.
Yeah, Kareem is at 3.
3 Kareem. I got you. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
You know, you got to put Kareem up there. He's always going to be in the top 3, pretty much. Him. It's going to be Jordan. It's going to be LeBron. And it's going to be Kareem in that top 3 for probably a long time, unless somebody like Steph Curry would never jump that high. I don't think in his career. I don't think he can do enough in the rest of his career to jump that high. And then if you look at next kind of best player that could, I mean, what is that? Maybe no. I mean, Giannis would never. You know, like it's really going to be a tough act. Because where they put KD?
I was wondering, like KD, Joker, and Giannis. Where?
So KD's at 13.
KD's at 13. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's
Joker's at 17.
Yeah, I think figured top
17. 20. So top 20 already.
I saw Luka at 50 something, 56, 57.
Yeah. Top 20 for Joker is pretty impressive because he's probably made a huge jump in the last 2-3 years, right? Well, obviously the MVPs that he's gotten, and he's won a championship. But yeah, I just don't see anybody ever cracking that top 3. Man, it's going to be a long time. I mean, somebody would have to be obviously an all-time leading scorer, be in that top 3 with I mean, Kareem, LeBron, you know, to be that third one in that option. I mean, that would be like the way you would kind of crack that top 3. But yeah, I don't see anybody doing that. I mean, probably for eternity, but for a long time.
Yeah. It's like, of course, never say never, but I mean, just the longevity. Like Jordan is Jordan, and he's the GOAT for sure. But LeBron and Kareem, they just have everything. They also have the longevity piece of it, the 2 top leading scorers. I mean, just the championships, the kind of what they meant for the game. You know, Kareem hasn't really been. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't want to say the nicest because I don't know him well, but he's like, since he's retired, like he hasn't been one of these guys that like have just been, you know, in the limelight, right? He's kind of just more of a private person, and
sure.
But I mean, his game speaks for itself, and he was tremendous in UCLA. He was tremendous on the Bucks, and then definitely for the Lakers. So I cannot see anybody cracking that top 3. And then I think the rest is pretty fluid, man. Like, you know, there's going to be an argument from all sides, right? I mean, people may argue Larry Bird should be higher. Some are going to say lower, depending on what era of basketball you watch, and let's be honest, like who you're a fan of too. So we're going to be a little bit biased towards Lakers, right? And so people that are Boston fans might think Larry Bird should be higher. But yeah, I wonder, like, I'm sure like Hakeem Olajuwon has got to be in top 20, right?
Yeah, he's number 12, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, he's right behind Kobe.
Okay. Oh, it's interesting, right? It's like 2 different players, but it's you probably you just get a bunch of names down, you know who the best ones are, and I'm sure it was tough to come up with like the 90 to like 110, probably, right? There's some people in there. Like I saw Klay Thompson was 98. So I remember when they did the top 75, he was left out. And so, you know, he thought that was kind of a jab. And so I think his last, you know, albeit injuries, I think his last few years has like dropped him a little bit, you know? But when Klay was at his best, I would say he was probably top 100. It's just
at the time for sure.
Yeah. So guys like that, right? And you know, you got to kind of look at not just the totality. You look at the totality in some instances, but in some, if a player had like 7, 8, like just really amazing years, I think that's enough to make the list.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy to see, but there are 6 Lakers in the top 11 ever. So when people like want to understand why Laker fans are so crazy, it's because we pretty much always expect excellence and we always get superstars. And that's probably why we always have these rumors of who we're going to get and these fantasies of, combining Giannis, Luka, all Joker all together on one team, because that's what happens with the Lakers. There's usually pretty much a star on the team. So kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, just there's always a star. The only time there wasn't was that basically 2003. Well, Kobe's was his last couple years. So 14 to like 17 or something like that. Beyond that, there pretty much always was. And so it's always like, who's the next guy? And, right now it's Luka. But yep, damn. We said 5 out of the 6 out of the top 11, 5 out of 11?
6 out of the top 11.
Wow. Yeah. So that's why they're,